The race for Chelsea next manager is heating up, from the David Ornstein bomber on Xabi Alonso to the latest on Iraola, Glasner and Filipe Luis, plus a massive blow for Estevao ahead of the World Cup. We have a lot to break down, but before we dive into this video, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. But if you have been following me for a while, you know the drips. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. We have had some absolutely massive news coming out of Stamford Bridge today. The managerial merry-go-round at Chelsea is spinning faster than prime Eden Hazard, and honestly, we all are strapped in for the ride. We have had a rough patch recently, losing Liam Rousnion after that nightmare run of 5 straight league losses without a goal was tough. But the board is clearly looking at a massive statement of intent. The search for the 6th permanent manager under Bliko is officially on, and one name is echoing louder than the rest at Stamford Bridge: Xabi Alonso. Let's dive into the report, because we need to break down exactly what is being said and why I think this movement could be the one we are waiting for. First up is the man with gold standard for breaking news. David Ornstein has dropped the bomber. He is reporting that Chelsea are exploring a deal to appoint Xabi Alonso as the next head coach. The 44-year-old former Real Madrid boss understands to be open to possibility, although nothing is decided yet as process continues. Andoni Iraola also a strong contender ahead of departing from Bournemouth. Now we know Alonso is fresh off that stint at Madrid, and why things ended in January. His reputation as a tactical mastermind remains intact, but it's not just the name, it's about how he fits our vision. According to Graham Bailey, sources have told us that Chelsea's sporting leadership group has identified Alonso as an outstanding fit for the club's long-term structure, recruitment model and style of play. Initial discussion between two parties are believed to have gone positively, with Chelsea hugely impressed by Alonso's idea, personality, vision for squad development. Alonso is understood to have made a strong early impression during talks, and Chelsea believe his profile aligns closely with the direction the club wants to move in. The next bit is huge for us as fans. We have seen managers struggle with recruitment power lately, but Xabi Alonso might be the one to break that move. Mark Douglas is reporting a potential shift in how the club operates. Xabi Alonso has emerged as frontrunner for Chelsea job in a move that indicates that the club are willing to concede more power to the manager over recruitment. If we give Alonso the keys to the recruitment car, I'm gassed. We have seen what he can do when he has a clear vision. However, we aren't putting all our eggs in one basket just yet. Kenan has confirmed Xabi Alonso is among Chelsea's candidates to succeed the sack of Liam Rousnion, alongside Andoni Iraola, Marco Silva. According to some sources, Alonso is an early preferred choice, and the clock is ticking. With 2026 World Cup around the corner, we want our man in the dugout before the tournament kicks off. Alex Rook and Ben Jacob have noted Xabi Alonso is emerging as a leading candidate for Chelsea and is open to a Premier League job. Iraola, Silva, Glasner and Luis are also on their list. Chelsea hope to appoint before the World Cup starts. Tactically, this is where it gets interesting for those of us who love the numbers and the metrics. Simon Johnson pointed out that Xabi Alonso's preferred setup is a perfect matchup for our current roster. Xabi Alonso sets his team up to play a very entertaining football in 3-4-2-1 formation, a system that certainly suits the players in Chelsea squad. We have the wing backs, we have the creative things. It's a system that can finally unlock the potential of this squad. Now I have to keep it real with you guys. There is a massive shadow looming over this deal, and its name is Anfield. We know Alonso is a Liverpool legend. While Ancelotti is still there, there are some whispers that Liverpool might be getting cold feet. Check out this from Dario Esse. Liverpool has doubt over Xabi Alonso, so they called Madrid directly to ask their opinion on what's happened with him in Madrid. I'll be honest, the manager market is cooked right now. There isn't a massive amount of elite qualities available. So if a manager like Xabi Alonso is on the table, I will take him with a heartbeat. He represents a modern high IQ approach to the game that matches the high IQ aesthetic we want for our football. But, and it's a big but, if Liverpool decide to sack Ancelotti and come back for Xabi Alonso, everything changes. He's a legend there. If they step in, I think he takes that opportunity to coach his former club in a second. And that is the biggest threat to us landing him. We are at crossroad. Do we get the tactical genius who could lead us into the new era? Or do we lose out to our rival? I want to see us move fast. No more eye tests. Let's look at the matrix. Let's look at the system. and get the man who fits the recruitment model. So what do you guys think? Are you gassed as I am about Alonso? Or do you think the Liverpool connection is too strong to overcome? Let me know in the comments. But moving on, I have been tracking the reports and it looks like the search is intensifying. According to Nizar Cancela, Chelsea have started to make contact with prospective managerial candidates Andoni Iraola, Xabi Alonso, Marco Silva on the list of the names. Oliver Glasner also featured in Chelsea's thoughts. Filipe Luis and Cesc Fabregas are understood to have admirers at Chelsea. It's a fascinating mix, isn't it? We have got the tactical heavy metal of Iraola, the proven class like Alonso, and the sentimental favourite like Fabregas. But one name that is really starting to dominate the conversation is Oliver Glasner. Matt Law dropped a massive update confirming this interest. Oliver Glasner and Filipe Luis are among the group of coaches Chelsea are making checks on. And I have to say, I'm actually quite impressed with Glasner. If you look at what he has achieved at Crystal Palace, delivering their first ever major trophy with that FA Cup win on a shoestring budget, it shows he's a winner. He's got the European pedigree too, having won the Europa League with Frankfurt. I've looked at his style, and while I like Areola's controlled chaos, I think I prefer Glasner's tactical flexibility. He knows how to build a winning culture. However, there is a catch. As Matt Law points out, while Oliver Glasner ticks some boxes at Chelsea with his Premier League, European and trophy winning experience, his outspoken nature could potentially cause an issue. He has openly criticized Palace transfer activity, and Chelsea owner take a dim view of Enzo Maresca publicly speaking his mind. That's the worry, right? We have seen this movie before. Our owners don't exactly like managers who tells you like it is regarding recruitment. If Glasner comes in and start demanding more than the board is willing to give, it could be Maresca 2.0 or Rosnior all over again. Personally, I think Xabi Alonso is the dream. He has that aura that a Chelsea manager needs. That presence commands the room and the pitch. Glasner is a fantastic coach, but does he has the elite Chelsea aura? I'm not 100% sure. But hey, if we bring in a trophy winning manager to the bridge, I wouldn't mind having him at all. Now, and if you thought the Glasner link was interesting, wait until you hear the latest on a familiar face. We are talking about a man who has already won the blue shirt and knows exactly what it means to win at Stamford Bridge. Filipe Luis is back in the conversation, and it's not nostalgic fan talk. Fabrizio has officially put him on the radar for the summer. Former Flamingo manager Filipe Luis, ready for a new chapter in Europe this summer. As reported 2 days ago, he's open to a new club and his camp has started working on option for the Brazilian coach. Filipe Luis was on Blue Coat list last January during the Chelsea Strasbourg changes. It feels like every time we are in the market for a manager, his name pops up. He was there when we moved on from Maresca in January, and he's here again. And there is also a debate where he sits in our history. Can you call him a Chelsea legend? Probably not in the Lampard or Terry sense, but he's a vital part of the 2014-2015 squad that brought the Premier League title and the League Cup back to the bridge. He was only with us for a season, but he left as a winner. And honestly, while some say he isn't experienced enough for a job this size, his record in Brazil is actually insane. He won the Copa Libertadores and the Brazilian League with Flamengo, showing he's got the tactical mind to match his playing career. And let's not forget the trauma he cost us recently. We all remember the night in the Club World Cup when Flamengo's side absolutely outsmarted us and beat us 3-1. That tactical masterclass against Maresca was a wake-up call for many of us about how good he is on the touchline. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him back, not just because of the winning record, but because he's a Chelsea person. He knows the standard. He's been in the dressing room that expect trophies every season. I think he will be a massive motivation to this young squad. He can walk into the room and tell players exactly how things are done at Chelsea because he has been there and done it. He could be the one to set up a real platform to make our players start believing again that we should be competing for silverware every single year. But moving on, while we are looking at winners like Glasner and the Chelsea DNA of Filipe Luis, the board seems to be looking heavily at the South Coast. The noise around Bournemouth boss is getting louder by the day, and Sasha Tavellari has dropped a significant update on where the board head is at. Chelsea are currently working behind the scene to try and convince Andoni Iraola to join them. The club management particularly appreciates Areola's work in England, as well as his intense modern style of play based on pressing and directness. It's clear he has fans in the high place at the bridge, and we aren't just monitoring him. We're actively looking to sell him the project. In fact, Jack Russell and Lord Cornfield are reporting that things has already moved past simple interest. Chelsea has stepped up their search for a new manager after meeting Andoni Iraola. They also admire Marco Silva and Oliver Glasner. Iraola and Alonso would both require more input on transfer strategy than previous managers. The good news, if you're an Iraola fan, is that he seems to be committed in staying in England. Fabrizio Romano confirmed as much, stating, Andoni Iraola is rejecting proposal from abroad because he wants to stay in the Premier League. Chelsea are assessing all potential candidates, but we aren't the only ones at the table, with Glasner potentially moving on to bigger things. Our London rivals are sniffing around. And then Aaron reports, Crystal Palace are stepping up their attempt to convince Andoni Iraola to take over from Oliver Glasner. Iraola is thought to be open to joining Palace. I'll be honest with you, I don't fully understand why the board is so obsessed here. Yes, he's Premier League proven. Yes, he is great with young players who fit their 2030 vision, or whatever they are calling it this week. But the style of play doesn't suit our current squad. Iraola demands heavy metal, high intensity controlled chaos. But have you seen us lately? If you check the metrics, we have been outfront by every single team we played this season. We simply don't have the engine in midfield or the work rate across the front line to sustain that kind of pressing for 90 minutes. If we try to play the Iraola way with players who run front, we are going to get sliced every single weekend. Plus, we don't exactly have a war chest of £200 million to go out there and buy the specific marathon men he needs. For me, Iraola is sort of fourth choice option at best. There are too many managers ahead of him who actually fit what we have right now. He's a good coach, but is he the right coach for this specific group? I don't think so. But moving on, while we all are debating of who should be sitting in the dugouts, I have received some absolutely gutting news about one of our brightest spark on the pitch. I was really hoping he would be the one lighting up the world stage in the summer. But it's officially been confirmed that our young star will miss out on the trip to North America. Fabrizio broke the news. Estevao has been left out of Brasilia preliminary squad for 2026 World Cup due to injury. Estevao suffered a setback after injury and he wouldn't be ready on time. Celestio to follow Chelsea indication is a massive blow for the kid. He was seen in tears at Stamford Bridge when he pulled up against Manchester United last month. And we now know it's a significant grade 4 hamstring tear. I was hoping he would recover in time, especially after he opted out against surgery to give himself a chance. But he simply ran out of time. Look, I'm disappointed for him. Missing a World Cup at 19 is something that stays with you. But if I'm being completely honest, part of me thinks this is a blessing in disguise for us. We have seen what happens when you overplay young talents. He played in the Club World Cup last summer, and he has been a regular for us whenever he's fit. And adding a high intensity World Cup on top of that could have been a breaking point for his body long term. He needs rest. He needs to be 100% ready for the first day of preseason, especially since we don't know who the manager is going to be yet, whether it's Glasner, Alonso, or even Filipe Luis. Estevao is going to play a massive role in our front line next year. I'd rather have him fresh and firing in August than fatigued and more prone to setback because he rushed for the Celestio. It's a tough one to swallow, but for the sake of his Chelsea career, this might be exactly what we need to ensure he doesn't get burnt out down the line. And with that said, that's the end of the video, my friends. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You will be.